From finessing the US Army to dodging arrests all across the world. These are 15 things you didn't know about Duke Dennis. And you definitely didn't know how low Duke's aura was when he was growing up.
Have I ever told y'all that I was a nerd, a dweeb, a dork?
Sure, everyone's a little weird when they're younger, but Duke seriously thought he was living in the Naruto universe.
And I used to actually train like a homemade kunai train. Like headband from Walmart, wearing it. I swear I was Sasuke. I swear to God.
That's wild. Even after school, he used to run up trees, mark them with the kunai, then trade off with his friend Dirt. And he probably would have done it for the rest of his life.
What got me out of this was one day, me and the Dirt, we up there. We training. I had two homeboys walking down the street. They see me and Dirt training, and I never forget it. The niggas was like, dude, bro, stop doing that lame. Bro, like, I kind of stopped and I was kind of watching them walk away, and they walked right into the back door of some house. You know what I'm saying?
So obviously he knew he had to stop because he was definitely not hanging with the girls while training like Naruto. But even though he left the training behind, it never left him because he got caught in 4K trying to do Naruto flips at 22. But when Duke was in the military, he never got caught lacking like that. He was actually so low-key, he was legit famous for it. See, after Duke graduated high school, he didn't want to be stuck risking his life in the hood. So he joined the army and got paid to do it instead. But the second Duke got on the bus to go to the army, he knew he made a mistake.
When I got to the army, I knew I regretted it. I knew I was like, man, I done made a bad decision.
Because he hated taking orders and working out. So he learned how to sham.
Bruh, shamming is doing whatever you can possibly do to get out of doing your assigned duty for the time being. Oh, we going on a 5-mile run. A 5-mile run? Hey, I ain't even gonna lie. I had some chili beans earlier, bruh. Man, it's finna come out right now. I need to go use the bathroom.
And he got so good at shamming that
my first sergeant used to call me the sham god.
That's probably not how you want to be remembered in the military, but it's all good now. Because after he found out about YouTube, he pulled the biggest sham of all time and just straight up quit. And you won't believe how much he made on his first YouTube check. Because when he was first starting out, he didn't even know you could have your own channel.
I didn't even know YouTube, like, you could have your own personal channel. I thought it was just full of like music videos and fights. So when I found out that you could have your own personal channel and actually make money from it, I just tried it out.
You'd probably think he started posting 2K17 content right off the bat. Nope. His first video was a repost of a girl doing the hit 'em folks move. And once he posted it, he let it chill for 3 months. But when he finally went back, he had a bag.
Until like a few months later, I checked how much money I made from it. It was like $200-300.
That was your first ever YouTube check though.
Yeah, it was.
And $300 was somehow enough for him to quit his job, which is just unhinged behavior. Cause he could have gotten way more for staying in the military.
Well, we trying to give you a bonus if you stay in. And I was like, what's the bonus? And they told me I think it was like 13,000, 14,000, something like that.
But even though 14 grand sounds nice, that's like 14 grand the risk dropping into World War III.
So I was like, no, I'm getting out, bro. I don't care about your money, bro. I'm out, bro.
So after a month of being home, he got his last military check and decided to get his shit together by buying his first ever car. But the military doesn't exactly pay like the NBA, so he couldn't afford anything at the dealerships until he went to the hood dealership.
I really didn't see nothing I could afford, you know what I'm saying? So I go up to the dude, I'm like, hey, so what's your cheapest car? He pointed me to this green little Jeep, bro. Hey, this is my first car right here.
And it just cost him $1,100. Unc's first car was legit cheaper than a PC, but nowhere near as cheap as how he used to clean himself. Look, Duke takes hygiene seriously.
Like, my hygiene is top of the line. You know, I really prioritize my hygiene. I get my nails done, I get a facial once a month. You know what I'm saying? I take showers daily, 2 times a day.
But one night, he ran out of deodorant and hit full panic mode. So he bought the first spray bottle he could find and ran to the club with some curls. At first, everything was smooth until he hit the bathroom.
When I go to the bathroom, I kind of moved too fast, and like, I kind of was like, hey, what the fuck? I kind of was looking around like, who was this? Cause like, I was trying to figure out who it was. Who was thinking like that?
But Duke's a walking ad for Old Spice, so he shrugged it off. Then when he's going through the club's security,
When I did like this right here, I was like, wait.
after getting exposed, he ran to the car, sprayed on more, and somehow the smell got even worse. At that point, the night was chalked. So he went home and hopped on FaceTime with his girl.
They didn't go as good as I thought it was. She's like, wow, what happened? And I told her, I was like, bro, look, I take accountability. I say, bro, I was thinking in the club.
But then she asked to see the bottle he used.
And I showed it to her. She was like, dude, look at the bottle. She said, read it. She said, did you even read it? I said, no, bruh. It looked like a mini version of the deodorant that I already used.
Bruh, this guy spent the whole night marinating in women's aerosol hair mist. Ugh. So after that, he damn near bought every Axe bottle in the store and stashed them at the A&P house. Buying a whole ass store is nothing compared to what this man dropped on his grills. Duke's not even that much of a jewelry guy, even though he owns a gold chain and earrings. The only reason he got those was because of some girl.
So this girl told me, she was like, dude, you know what I'm saying? You'll look real good with a little gold chain, some tattoos and the earring, you know what I'm saying? I went and got them.
Hey, I went and got everything she told me to go get.
So, you probably think he just copped the grills because a girl told him to, but it's actually because
People didn't really pay attention to my smile until I got the grills, cause like, of course, like they shining and they glistening.
glistening is right. Those things are made out of pure diamond, and he knew they were fire the second he tried them on.
Hold on real quick, man.
So he dropped $15,000 just to buying fresh out of the factory. He's lucky no one tried to pull up on his mouth full of diamonds, because normally Duke's so unlucky that he's gotten robbed 3 times. And at a certain point, it's gotta be more his fault than the criminal. The first time this happened in 2019, when he was out of town, and when he got home, he knew something was off.
So I'm looking around and seeing what they took from me. They left me my whole setup, all right? I can't make this up. The only thing they took from me was 2 PlayStations and some Jordans.
He's so lucky they didn't know his setup is probably worth more than some people's cars. But in 2024, he got way more unlucky when his Lambo got robbed.
Oh, they took my bag. Oh, man.
Guess his bag wasn't too important, because he's cheesing like he's the one that didn't get caught. But 6 months later, someone stole one of Duke's most prized possessions, his $200,000 Dodge Challenger Black Ghost.
Man, I don't want to touch them until police get here. I was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt last time. I'm pressing charges this time.
Man, I would crash out. But they got the guy fast, because he was just some cloud-chasing rapper named Lil Rabbit. Getting robbed by a dude with that nickname has to be enough for Duke to start being careful. Because honestly, that's embarrassing as hell. But what's definitely not embarrassing is Duke's insane shoe closet. Because Duke doesn't just have a shoe collection. He's got a full-on museum. He's got everything from $200 Nikes
These right here. And they hard.
to $500 Yeezys.
Like I said, I didn't even like Yeezys, but when these dropped, oh, I had to get them.
Bro literally has so many shoes, he's forgotten about some of them.
I don't know what these called. I don't even remember buying them, but they hard.
But at a certain point, you can't even list them all. There's 3 pair of Yeezys, 3 pair of Kobe's, 6 pair of Nike Dunks, 8 pairs of Adidas, and no joke, 37 pairs of Jordans. Duke could solve hunger in Kenya with that kind of money. But his most expensive pair of all, his crown jewel,
If you watching this video right now, you know what the fuck I went through to get this shoe.
and with that pair of Jordans, his whole collection comes out to $30,000. But when you're known as the Wizard of Oz, you gotta be dripped out in the best kicks. And even though Kaisanat invented the word Riz, probably didn't know that Duke is the reason it got popular, cause he doesn't even need to say anything to pull.
Okay, what time you gotta get?
He literally just waved and secured the W. And he tried to teach Kai to do the same thing, but it didn't go quite as planned.
Wow, I ain't heard from you in days.
What, bro? Nah, my friend is these niggas.
Yeah, only Duke is pulling that off. But his Riz goes back way farther than his streaming days, because when he was younger,
I had 3 bitches in one night.
Did you watch that dick at all?
Yes.
Like
nigga.
in between?
Yes. Right she was in my house. I hit her, took a shower. A bitch from up that way.
Okay.
She was like, hey, what you doing? I know you home, because I was home from the army. She came outside, got me. I fucked in the hotel parking lot, because the hotels was sold out. Went back home. I couldn't go in there because, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I had to take a shower. And then when I got out, a bitch had pulled up and was like, I'm outside. And so I walked downstairs, got in her car. I'm in the back seat going crazy as fuck.
and right in the act, the cops rolled up on him.
Big ass like, but I put my clothes on, nigga. I wasn't finna let them catch me in the act. Goddamn, roll window down like, yo, is that y'all good?
Duke was really out here risking jail time just to get some action. But it paid off, because ever since then, he's been called the Wizard of Oz. I mean, compared to everyone else in A&P, this dude is James Bond. But when Duke isn't spitting game with girls, he's trying to avoid getting in bar fights with them. See, Duke was in South Carolina and wanted to make the most out of the weekend. So he linked up with his old Naruto teammate Dirt and hit the town. They got to the first bar, and immediately, Duke had girls offering to buy him shots. That unspoken Riz is unreal, man. So Duke and the girls start drinking. Then some Some time goes by, and Duke starts to look around because he realized,
and I see he at a table, and they cussing out. They cussing my dog out, so I'm like, hold on real quick. I step up, so I pull my dog back. I say, hey, y'all, listen, we apologize, you know what I'm saying? Y'all have a good night, Merry Christmas. And she like, okay, well, you need to get your homeboy.
But after Dirt sobered up a bit, they hit a few more bars with no problems. And when they got to the last bar, Duke probably thought everything was chillin', until he met a girl and lost Dirt again.
So I'm talking to the whole girl, and I hear commotion and shit, but I ain't really paying no attention to it. I see it flying in the air like this right here. I'm following this. Damn, somebody. Left it, buddy. And I follow him all the way down to the floor. Boom, he hit the floor, and I'm following that. I'm looking, but it's Dirt. I'm like, but that's Terrence, but that's my dog, right? So you know what I'm saying? I'm damn near clenching my fist finna knock whoever the right here is. But then again, I look up, and it was a girl. It was a girl, so I'm pretty much like, oh, okay.
Man, if you get folded by some random girl, you gotta move to another country. So since this boy got embarrassed twice, Duke just grabbed Dirt and ran out of there. I mean, Duke was inches away from pulling a Chris Brown in public. I'm surprised he never went out again after that, because he stopped smoking bud for way less. And you probably don't know why he never lights up the electric lettuce. Well, it all started back on his 18th birthday. See, Duke and his brother shared the same birth date, 2 years apart. And since his bro was already celebrating, he wanted Duke to join.
He say, Duke, you 18 now. He said, I'm gonna get you drunk.
But the thing was, Duke had never had a sip of alcohol. And when he pulled up to his bro's house,
he got a bottle of liquor waiting for me with my name on it. I say, bro, quit playing. You know I ain't drinking it. He made me drink.
He couldn't take a chaser or soda or even water. So Duke was absolutely faded. But his night was just getting started, because then his cousin hit him up.
My cousin D hit my phone. He say, hey cuz, come on down here. We got it all set up. I'm thinking it's gonna be a surprise party or something.
It wasn't a party, but it was definitely a surprise. When Duke walked in, he got hit with a full cloud of smoke, and somehow they hotboxed the entire house. But when Duke got inside, they started lighting up again.
He said, you ready? I say, ready for what? He said, you finna hit this, bro. I'm good, you know what I'm saying? Y'all go ahead. I'm just chilling. I literally declined that blunt for like an hour, bro. But at the point, I was like, bro, my nigga. Bro. I'ma smoke it, bro. But just one time. Now, he was like, breathe in. When I had all the smoke in my mouth, bro, he said, breathe in. I sucked it in, bro. Couldn't stop coughing, bro. I literally couldn't stop coughing off one pull. I ended up finishing the whole blunt, you know what I'm saying? I don't remember nothing else that night.
I'm not surprised. This man drank a fifth of liquor, followed by a whole blunt in like an hour. But luckily, he woke up in his bed after blacking out. And after that, he never touched the jazz cabbage again. And even though Duke's pretty much living life at the highest level now, he's trying to go even further and level up his physique. And it all started after one subscriber said this to Duke while he was eating.
You were always getting full. What the hell are you talking about, bro? I don't know you, nigga. What are you talking about? Bro, what the f is you even talking about, bro?
So he decided it was time to make a change.
I just need to, like I say, bro, self-improve. 2025 gonna be a good year, though.
And he's starting from below the bottom, because he's never touched a weight before.
No, I never worked out before. Not when I was in the Army, not when I used to play football in high school. I never actually been in a weight room before and worked out with real weight. So I'm starting this fitness journey in 2025. I just want to look better, and I want to feel better, bro.
With the way he was talking, you'd think he was built like a blade of grass. But his first ever day in the gym, he repped out 225 on the bench like it was nothing.
Whoa. It's like
Unca's strong as hell. So he trained with boxing, running, and dieted for 2 months. And the next time he went up for his max on the bench, he hit 275. This man has better genetics than anyone I've ever seen. Well, it's either that or he's taking more Tren than Toji. But Tren ain't the only thing he's shooting these days. Because when he was in China, Duke got detained for bringing a weapon with him. After Duke Dennis got to the airport in China, TSA took him off to the side. They searched his bag, and at the bottom of it, they found a literal bullet.
I had a bullet in my bag.
What?
Nigga, they had me right there for 2.5 hours trying to figure out what to do with me.
You're black. Nah, you should have went.
Agent kinda has a point here, but Kai legit got mad they didn't take him to jail.
You would have had more shit. Would have been free Duke.
And AMP would have to fly to China to
Gang.
Duke was so fed up with them. He really risked his life in a foreign country just for his friends to tell him he should have stayed. But China ain't the only country he's got some wild charges in. Duke almost went to prison on some P. Diddy type stuff. Let's back up real fast. In 2015, Duke's cousin D was shot and killed in the hood. Luckily, they caught the shooter and sent him to prison. But instead of taking the L, the shooter's family tried to get revenge. They had their 15-year-old daughter accuse a 20-year-old Duke Dennis of getting her pregnant. So Duke got arrested, and he thought his life was over.
They finally get to me. He say my name, I stand up. He read my charge off. And then he say, minimum 20 years. Boy, I about shitting on myself.
Sheesh. But the thing is, they didn't do any research. Not only were the accusations false, they were straight up impossible, because Duke was stationed halfway across the world in Germany when she accused him. So the judge threw out the case, and Duke got off clean. But his best one was straight from YouTube, because he got his first real money from streaming after he got out of the army.
I used to pull like 30 views, you know what I'm saying? Which is great.
Which is valid, yeah.
Which is valid.
30 views out the gate isn't pro numbers, but he was putting in that pro work. But when he got home and moved in with his mom, his life switched up real quick, because his mom picked the wrong dude to invite over.
The company she used to bring up there, some niggas had came up there and they was looking for him.
Oh.
And they was like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, if we come back up here and he up here, we gonna shoot this bitch up. All right, so my mom was like, I can't sleep good at night knowing that somebody
Potentially.
yeah, could potentially shoot it up.
This man couldn't catch a break. He escaped the hood to the army, then escaped the army back to the hood. Then they had to move to a trailer because he was so dangerous. When they got to the trailer, he didn't even have a room. But his little bro is a real one. So he let Duke use his room for his new streaming setup. Not even a legit shootout was going to stop this dude. And after grinding for a bit,
And goddamn, out of nowhere, basically, like my YouTube started going crazy. Like it went from like 2K views, 1K views to like 15, 30.
I really
You know what I'm saying? 15, 30, 60K,
Damn.
100K.
dude was living the American dream inside a trailer. And it finally paid off with a $4,000 check. But instead of dropping it all on himself,
I gave my brother $1,000, and then I gave my mama $1,000, and I kept the $2,000 for myself to get a setup. This is all in the trailer, right?
Yeah.
and that's why Duke Dennis is the GOAT.